Good morning, students. Welcome back to physics class. Today we are going to continue the same chapter, that is laws of motion. Okay, so the first topic is circular motion. So here you already know what is circular motion. An object moves in a circular path. We call it a circular motion. So here we have to study about centripetal force. Okay, which force? Centripetal force. So what do you mean by centripetal force? Centripetal force means a force required to make a body move along a circular path with constant speed is called centripetal force. So what do you mean by centripetal force? A force required to make a body move along a circular path with constant speed is called centripetal force. Okay. Then this force always acts along the radius and towards the center of the circular path. Suppose a body is moving in a circular path. Okay, so a force required to make a body move along a circular path, that force we call it as which force? Centripetal force. Okay, it always acts along the radius and towards the center of the circular path. So, and this force acts along the radius and towards the center of the circular path. Okay. So next one is expression for centripetal force. Okay. So here we have to consider a body of mass m. Okay. So a body of mass m moves along a circular path of its radius r. Okay, with the uniform speed v. So suppose we have to consider a body of mass m moves along a circular path of radius r and its uniform speed v. So suppose the body is in this position. Its direction changes, what happens is acceleration. Direction changes means acceleration can be developed. Okay, so change in its direction of motion means it undergoes an acceleration. Okay, change in its direction of motion means it undergoes an acceleration. Direction of acceleration is radially inwards. Okay, the direction of acceleration is in which direction? Radially inwards. And this acceleration we call it as centripetal acceleration. Okay, once more I repeat, suppose a body of mass m moves along a circular path of radius r with a uniform speed v. So, due to the change in its direction of motion, it undergoes an acceleration which acts radially inwards. This acceleration we call it as centripetal acceleration. Okay. Then we already studied about in chapter 4 that the relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration, that is linear acceleration is equal to what? R into omega square, which is also equal to what? V square by R. Okay, so here A is the linear acceleration and omega is what? Angular acceleration. So which is equal to V square by R. V square divided by R. Okay, so first you have to write this relation. A is equal to what? V square by R, which is equal to R into omega square. You got the point. A means linear acceleration and omega means what? Angular acceleration. This is the relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. Okay, then V is what? Linear velocity. Okay, so here A is equal to what? A is equal to V square by R equal to R into omega square. Then according to Newton's second law of motion, centripetal force, that is F is equal to what? You already know that F is equal to what according to Newton's second law of motion? F is equal to what? M into mass into acceleration. So here we have to write it, centripetal force is equal to mass into centripetal acceleration. Okay, centripetal force equal to mass into centripetal acceleration. That is F is equal to mass. Mass means M into centripetal acceleration. A means what? V square by R. Okay, so the one of the equation of centripetal force equal to m v square by r, m v square divided by r, also which is equal to what? V square by r is what? R omega square. V square by r is equal to what? V square by r is equal to r omega square, which is also equal to m into r omega square. Okay, so this is another equation. So first one, centripetal force F is equal to m v square by r, or which is equal to what? M into r omega square. Okay. The next one is we have to discuss about car on a circular level road. A car is moving on a circular level road. Okay, so first you have to see this diagram. So here a car on a, that means car is moving on a circular level road. Okay, so here the force of friction between the road, and the tires provides the necessary centripetal force required to keep the car in motion around the curve. Okay, so here we have to consider a car. So these two tires, its reactions are R1, normal reactions are R1 and R2. Okay, then its force of friction is F1. Okay, so this is a circular level road. So O to this point is represented as radius, that is R. So the weight of the car is balanced by central point of this car. So here this is the total normal reaction, that is R1 plus R2. So here R1 plus R2 is we denoted as capital letter R. Then this normal reaction is balanced by its weight mg. You got the point? So first we have to consider a car moving on a circular level road. Then these two tires. Suppose we have to consider two tires. So here the normal reaction R1 and this point is normal reaction is R2. So its total normal reaction is R1 plus R2, which is also equal to what? Capital letter R. And this normal reaction is balanced by its weight mg. The F1 force of friction. So here the force of friction between the rod and the tire provides the necessary centripetal force required to keep the car in motion around the curve. So you already know that centripetal force acting on the car is what? F is equal to mv square by r. Okay, F is equal to centripetal force, F is equal to mv square by r. This is equation number 1. And also other forces acting on the car are, first one is weight mg, acting vertically downward direction, and another one is normal force, that is normal reaction R, acting upward direction. Okay, then also you know that the frictional force F between the tires and the rod provides necessary centripetal force, right? F is equal to what? Fc, that is force of friction is equal to what? Centripetal force, that is F is equal to mv square by r. This is equation number 2. Okay, and also you know that the weight mg of the car is balanced by the normal reaction R, that is R is equal to what? Mg. And this represented as equation number 3. We have to divide 2 divided by 3. Okay, that is F by R is equal to mv square by R, all divided by what? Mg. So you can write it as mv square by R into 1 by mg. So mass is cancelled, then we got v square by rg, that is F by R. F by R is equal to v square by rg. F by R is what? F by R is coefficient of friction, denoted by letter is what? Mu. So F by R is mu. So mu is equal to what? V square by rg. V square divided by rg is coefficient of friction. Okay, so mu is equal to v square divided by rg. From this equation you have to find out v, velocity. Okay, so v square divided by rg is equal to mu. So v square is what? V square is equal to mu into rg. So v is equal to a root of mu rg. Okay, so for safe turning his velocity is less than or equal to root mu rg. For safe turning his velocity is less than or equal to root of mu rg. So the maximum speed of the vehicle without skidding will be the maximum speed of the vehicle without a skidding will be mu max is equal to root of mu rg. Okay. If the speed exceeds V max, the car will skid and go off the road in a circle of radius greater than r. This is because the maximum available friction is insufficient to provide the necessary centripetal force. Okay, so for safe turning is velocity less than or equal to root of mu rg. Mu means what? Mu means coefficient of friction, r is radius of the circular road, the g means acceleration due to gravity. Okay. The next one we have to discuss about motion of a car on a banked road. Motion of a car on a banked road. So what do you mean by banked road? So banking of a curved road is what? The system of raising the outer edge of a curved road above its inner edge. We call it as banking of a curved road. And this angle we call it angle of banking. The angle through which the outer edge of the curved road is raised above the inner edge, we call this angle of banking. Okay. So next we have to discuss about motion of a car on a banked road. Okay. So here we also consider a car. This one is a normal reaction R, and so here the R can be resolved into two component system, that is R cos theta and R sin theta. The two forces acting on the vehicle. First one is weight mg of the vehicle. Weight mg of the vehicle, and second one is the normal reaction R of the ground. Okay. So here also two forces acting on the vehicle. First one is weight mg. Weight mg of the vehicle, and second one is the normal reaction R of the ground. Then this normal reaction R can be resolved into two rectangular components. Okay. So R cos theta. So R cos theta along the y-axis and R sin theta along the x-axis. So here R cos theta is balanced by the weight of the car, that is mg. So here R cos theta is equal to what? mg. Okay. So see here. So R cos theta is equal to mg means balanced by the weight of the vehicle. And also R sin theta. R sin theta provides, that is centripetal force provides, the frictional force provides a centripetal force. Okay. So here R sin theta is equal to what? mv square by r. So once more I repeat, R cos theta is equal to mg, that means is weight of the vehicle. Then R sin theta is equal to mv square by r, that means it provides centripetal force. Then you have to write, this one is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Then divide these two equations, that is 2 divided by 1. So R sin theta by R cos theta is equal to, R sin theta means mv square by r, all divided by what? mg. So it's also equal to what? v square divided by rg. V square divided by rg. That is, here r cancels. So tan theta is equal to v square divided by rg. So from this equation you have to find the velocity v. Okay. So v is equal to root of rg tan theta. So for safe turning is value of velocity v less than equal to what? Root of rg tan theta. So what is theta? Theta means angle of banking. Angle of banking is theta. So the maximum speed of a vehicle can have on the banked road at angle theta without skidding will be v max is equal to root of rg tan theta. Okay. So next we have to discuss about some problems related with circular level road and banking of a road. So the first question is, a cyclist speeding at 18 km per hour on a level road, circular level road. Take a sharp circular turn of radius 3 meters without reducing the speed and without bending towards the center of the circular path. The coefficient of static friction between the tires and the road is 0.1. So will the cyclist slip while taking the turn? So read this question 2 times. A cyclist is speeding at 18 km per hour. So the speed of that cyclist is 18 km per hour. Without reducing the speed and also without bending towards the center of the circular road path. The question is, will the cyclist slip while taking the turn? If he is not reducing his speed, is the cyclist slip while taking the turn? This is the question. Okay, you got the point. Once more I repeat, a cyclist is speeding at 18 km per hour. So he cannot change the speed. Then the question is, will the cyclist slip while taking the turn? Okay, so here on a level road, force of friction alone provides centripetal force for going along the circular turn. And also you know that tan theta is equal to mu is equal to v square by rg. You already know what is the velocity. V is equal to root of mu rg. So you have to substitute these values here. V max is equal to root of mu rg, which is equal to root of mu is also given in this question. That is mu is what? 0.1. So 0.1 into is radius, circular road is radius is 3. 3 into g is 9.8. So the answer is 1.715 meter per second. So the maximum speed without skidding is what? 1.715 meter per second. But actually what is the cyclist speed? 18 km per hour. Okay, 18 km per hour means 5 meter per second. So you have to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. How can we convert kilometer per hour into meter per second? So you have to multiply it with 5 by 18. So 80 cancel. So you got 5 meter per second. So you compare these two values. As actual speed is greater than the maximum safe speed. Actual speed is 5, but its maximum safe speed is what? 1.715. So the cyclist will slip while taking the turn. Okay. Then the next question is, a bend in a level road has a radius of 100 meter. This radius is 100 meter. Find the maximum speed which a car turning this bend may have without skidding if the coefficient of friction between the tires and the road is 0.8. Okay, so this is a direct question. You have to substitute the equation. That is, we have to find out the maximum speed of that vehicle. That is, V max is equal to what? V max is equal to root of mu rg. So here mu is what? 0.8. Okay, so root of 0.8 into r means radius of that circular road, that is 100, into g is also 9.8. So the answer is 28 meter per second. Okay.